And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Tuesday, November 29th. I am Josh Engleman, and I'm here to break down a 3-game NBA slate because the NBA doesn't like us and they don't want it to just be normal and balanced. We either play 100 games or 3. And while I like that on days that I do content because it is a little bit easier, it's also kind of annoying because I would just want a bigger slate. But it doesn't change what we're doing here. We're here every morning, no matter what, 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to be here for strategy shows and process shows and deeper dives and live before log. It doesn't change anything, but I just want the balance. Either way, we're here to talk 3. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Please follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. I'm on the deeper dive tonight, so you'll get a lot of me today. Contenders videos as well. Should be a fun one. 3 games. Knicks, Pistons, Warriors, Mavs at 7:30, which is obviously one people want to pay attention to. And then late night hammer, Clippers, Blazers. That should be... I mean, like in theory, that's a fun game, but no Dame. And then the Clippers are weird. We got Zubats coming off the 31-29 game. It's whatever. Alrighty. So, I can't wait. I slept great last night. Feeling great. High energy right now. Feels good. Trying to get the energy going for today. But I'm feeling pretty good today. It's supposed to be nice out. I'm going to go for a walk a little bit later. Recover from the gym yesterday. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. We got soccer later today. Rob, thanks for the reminder. Got to watch the U.S. today. Need to win to move on. It's going to feel bad if they don't pull that off. I know that's going to be looked at as a failure. I think the next World Cup cycle is definitely the one that we're a little bit more interested in, but you would like to at least get another game in the round of 16. But this isn't the process soccer show. That's for sure. SMP. Yeah, I don't mind the short slates. I used to hate them. I actually kind of like them now. I hate the 11, 12, 13 gamer type joints. Like they just annoy me to no end. I need to just sort of draw a line in the sand for those and stop playing them. Maybe just play like the early slate and then the late slate, turn it into 2 different plays. Because I don't really enjoy all of those options. I think like 7, to me, like that 6, 7, 8 range is perfect. Skewing a little bit more towards the low end. There's no right or wrong answer. Like anybody can like anything. Alrighty. Well, let's get into it. I want to drink some coffee. I want to talk some basketball. We've got all the time in the world. So let's just do it. I got my coffee. I hope you guys do as well. You know I have my coffee. The day that I show up here without a coffee is going to be a sad, sad day. Unless I've got like something way cooler or crazier, like I'm drinking Cristal or something. I would never drink Cristal. That's disgusting. They're a horrible company. Drink some Ace of Spades or something. Zeke, man, because it's 6:30 in the morning. Please stop spamming your question. Good God. It already got answered by someone too. Yeah, it's because it's 6:30 in the morning. That's why. I don't know if anything's updated in this entire industry. I can name a couple different sites that that aren't us, that have not even done a single thing yet. So, sometimes we're out of the gates a little bit quicker. You're good, Zeke. Don't worry about it. But one and done on those questions, brother. One and done. If you've got a coffee, please join me. Tea, water, beer, whatever you got. Whatever your drink of choice is for this morning, join me in a cheers. Rise and grind. That's what we know we need to do. Clink it right here. It's not a food morning, by the way. That's why I didn't even go to it. Just a hair too hot. If I'd have dropped like half an ice cube in there. Zeke, I appreciate having you here. I really do. You're basically never going to see it this early. Very, very rarely. I would say like maybe once a week, twice a week. It's all about getting the projections done the night before, and those aren't done. But even then, ownership is never run until like 10 o'clock. So that's usually around 10 o'clock when the strategy show is going to start. That's when you're going to see the lineup generator get updated. Yeah, I was hoping Uruguay would have looked a little bit better. Shouts to my boy Darwin Nunez. No dice. All right, the cheers is in. The coffee sip is in. Like, subscribe, notification bell. That stuff will be good. If you didn't sign up yesterday for our Cyber Monday deal, you missed out. I don't have that read for you, but I do want to let you guys know that BetMGM is the sponsor of this video. We will be talking a little bit about BetMGM in a bit, but if you just want to get yourself straight over there now, link in the description, click it, head on over. $10 on any soccer game. Bet the US today. As long as there's a goal scored, you will get $200 in free bets. But I think we need to just break this slate down. Glad you gotten better, Zeke. That's good. We're going to go there. We're going to go there. And we're going to start breaking this bad boy down. Game number 1. The New York Knickerbockers are 5-point favorites in Detroit, 224 total. That Detroit side of this one is going to be a mess, I think. Q tag on Quickly is the only news item we have for the Knicks. Just a little bit of knee soreness. There's no chance that I'm projecting him out. So really, we can take our time here on the Knicks and make sure we get them right. So let's do that. I'm going to gut this entire rotation. Jalen Brunson, 34 minutes a game. Definitely has ramped up over the past 3. So let's get him in for 34. Let's do 36 for RJ Barrett. And I'm going to go 34 to Julius Randle. The center situation is where it starts to get murky. So we got Hartenstein here for 15. We got Mitchell Robinson back playing 31 and a half minutes on Sunday. And then they pulled Jericho Sims. So let me take a quick look at Popcorn Machine to look at that rotation from Sunday. Because they did go to either Toppin or Randall, one of the two, for about a minute and a half. Mitchell Robinson started, played a relatively standard rotation. They actually went to... Did he pick up fouls? That's one foul. Man, they took Mitchell Robinson off for the final 2 minutes, 25 seconds of the second quarter of the first half, I guess. I don't know why they did that. When did they... Must have been right there. So they had a stretch in the middle of the fourth quarter where they went Barrett, Randall, Brunson, Reddish, Toppin. So they did play Toppin and Randall together for 2 minutes. I think I'm willing to do that. So let's go something like 34 to Julius Randle with 2 at center. That'll give me 16 minutes for Obi Toppin. That's the best that I can do. And then projecting Mitchell Robinson's minutes is really a bit of a chore. He had a weird-ass rotation. We're certainly not going to 31. I think 28 is the play. And then 20 to Hartenstein. Because they started the fourth quarter with Mitchell Robinson, which is weird. He played like nearly the whole fourth quarter. I don't think that they're live to do that more often than not. So, oh man, I'm gonna go 28 to Mitchell Robinson, 18 to Hartenstein. There we go. And that's gonna be, if ever there was a day where Isaiah Hartenstein was going to go nuts, it feels like it's today if Mitchell Robinson's price really is $4,600. So the rest of this should hash out pretty quickly. We got Cam Reddish back this last game. He played 24 minutes, didn't start. They finally went to Grimes in the starting rotation the way that they had talked about before. Grimes played normal first, normal second, normal third, didn't play the fourth at all, which I think is probably the most likely scenario moving forward. Did they have anybody out? Was quickly out? No. Did they have anybody out? Let's see. Knicks, box score, ESPN 1127. For the Knicks, no Sims, Fournier, McKay, Luke, Archie. Now, okay, so they didn't have anybody out. I guess I could have just looked here and known, but that wasn't going to work the way that I wanted it to. Man, I think... So they closed with Reddish, and Reddish played pretty normal minutes. I think 24 for Reddish... Certainly 24 for Grimes. But he's got upside. So I'm going to make it 26 for Grimes. And then it really is just quickly. I mean, I'm running out of places for minutes. Derrick Rose played 12. Quickly didn't play in the second half, but that's the knee issue. I don't totally have a great feel. Like, if Quentin Grimes is starting, he's not playing less than 24 minutes. He's going to get 8, 16, 24, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Which means, like, I guess it's Reddish that's the problem for me here. But if he's going to close, that's where it starts to get confusing. Did Reddish and Grimes play alongside each other at all? We've got Reddish at 23.9. We got Grimes at 26.4. Okay, so they did play 2 minutes alongside each other. Yeah, like, I got to go 50 minutes to those two guys. Well, who benefited from quickly being done? Because I think it is interesting that Grimes didn't touch the floor in the fourth quarter, even without quickly. So I guess... Is it Reddish? How often does quickly close? I think that's an important distinction here. Getting those guys right seems important just off the top of my head. Okay, so quickly closes pretty regularly. I think we're looking at a case where it might not always be Cam Reddish closing. It might be quickly. So I'm going to take Reddish down to 20. But I feel like that undercuts his potential. If I take 8 off of him, that takes him down to 16. Yeah, I'm gonna go 20 to Reddish. I'm gonna go 18 to Reddish. Yeah, I feel right there. And then quickly is gonna get 24 as well. Actually, 22. Everybody's here. Maybe 22. And then 8 minutes for Derrick Rose. I don't like this Knicks rotation. This is weird. This Knicks rotation is really weird. Because we know that we're going to get Brunson. We know that we're going to get Barrett. We know that we're going to get Randall. And we know we're going to get one of the centers. Like, we just know that that's going to be the case. But that fifth spot at this point, now that they're healthy, can be Grimes, can be Reddish, can be Quickly. Any one of those guys can close this game today. And that's where you start running into problems with projections. Like, you want to make sure that you can get all of them, and also that you don't get a lot of one of them. Oh man, that coffee's starting to be that thing. All right, so let me look at rates. I haven't looked at the Knicks in a while, so I do think it's time to look at everything. We're going to say in games that Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett all played. It's going to be a massive sample, but they haven't missed a ton of time this year. Yeah, if Quickly is out, SMP, I don't want to go too high on Rose because they don't seem to do that. But yeah, something in that 16 range feels about right. I think the Reddish Grimes combo soaks up a little bit more there. And then you probably see Miles McBride pick up a little bit. Seems like they're trying to work him in at least. All right, so far this season, RJ Barrett has played the most minutes when those three guys are on, 25.2% usage rate. I'm just going to enter that straight in. Jalen Brunson is at 25 as well. Julius Randle is at 25.5. So these guys just sort of all do the same thing, which is kind of wild. Quickly's at 18.8. That works. Isaiah Hartenstein is at 12. We'll worry about that in a second. Mitchell Robinson, 11. That's fine. Quentin Grimes has played 164 minutes at this point, 13% usage rate. Probably a little high on all of these guys. Rose maintains his. So let's just enter that, make things a little bit easier. Fournier obviously doesn't matter. Reddish doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go with that for right now. Let's look at assist rates. Larry, when news drops, I do everything myself. I will cross-reference across the industry as much as I can, but generally speaking, I just do it all myself. Brunson's assist rate is pretty big here. I didn't realize it was as much of a bump as it appears to be. So we're going to bump up Brunson. I have a sneaky suspicion Brunson's going to look good. I just don't know his price. So I guess I shouldn't have that sneaky suspicion. I guess no one else gets assists. It's certainly not Barrett. It's definitely not Randall. Never Mitchell Robinson. And then let's close it out with rebounds, which I'm guessing isn't all that interesting. Julius Randle, much, much lower. No surprise. Barrett is the same guy always. Jalen Brunson, a little lighter. And Grimes doesn't really do anything. I think we're good for Knicks. So let's go to the Detroit side, which I think is going to be a little squirrely, but I'm not totally sure. Yeah, I knew this was going to be a disaster. Oh my God. Obviously, we don't have Cade. But no questionable tag on Jaden Ivey, questionable tag on Boyan, questionable tag on Isaiah Stewart, Q tag on Marvin Bagley. Okay. I mean, what do we do with that? The assumption, I guess, is that if everybody is in, does Sadiq Bey go back to the bench? So it's a knee for Ivy. It's a knee and ankle for Boyan. It's a big toe for Beef Stew. And it's a migraine for Marvin Bagley? I mean, okay. All right, I'm going to gut this whole rotation, and we're going to try to think about it as if everybody here is in. So, we will start with Killian Hayes for 30 minutes. And then we'll get Jaden Ivey for 31. Okay. We'll go Boyan in for 34. We'll get Beef Stew in for... Oh, okay. I thought he came back over the weekend. He has not. So Isaiah Stewart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... So he's missed 7 straight. He's not going to go straight into the starting lineup. They're going to start Saddiq Bey again. So I'm going to move Boyan to the 4. I'm going to bring Saddiq Bey in to start at the 3, playing 30 minutes. And then we'll get Bags in for... I mean, even with no Stewart, it's not like Bagley's been playing a ton. I'm going to go 26. I'm going to go 22 to Stewart here. Now, the question becomes, how much do we think Marvin Bagley and Isaiah Stewart play alongside each other? And what happens to Jalen Duren? Because we really have only seen these guys. So they played 63 minutes together the first day they were all together. And then 61, but that's the game that Stewart got hurt. I think I have to go to like 18 on Duren. So I think we end up looking something like that. There's a lot of Bagley then at the 4. Boyan mostly at the 4 as well. Ugh, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. All right, so next guy up for Detroit is probably Alec Burks for 20 minutes. I'm going to say Burks is the backup point guard in this case. We have 29 minutes to go. I mean, Isaiah Livers seems like the next guy at, I don't know, 20? 18? Do we go 18 Livers? I mean, Saddiq Bey, I have a sneaky suspicion, is going to pop aggressively. I think Kevin Knox is just going to be done. I mean, maybe it's just 15 here, 14 there. Tough rotation. Very, very tough. Because these cute, like, ultimately it's not going to matter because we're going to get the Detroit news. It's the first game of the night. All right. So when in games that Cade has not played, I just want to see what everything is. Man, this is just brutal. All right, Boyan, in the games that Cade hasn't played, has a 26% usage rate. I can't go that high. And there's been guys in and out, too. Like, you know, Ivy missed 2, Bay missed a couple. I think 25.5 works. Killian Hayes is at 19. Go 18.5 for him. Jaden Ivey's at 27.5. Just going to take that down a hair. Jalen Duren actually does nothing when these guys are on. Bagley's oddly neutral. Just stays at 20. Saddiq Bey's played 176 minutes in this scenario. He's at 19.5. I'm going to leave Duren do whatever. I'm going to let Isaiah Stewart's usage just do whatever. Alec Burks, 191 minutes since Cade's been gone. Holy hell. Guys, in the games that Cade hasn't played, there's 10 games that Cade hasn't played this season. Alec Burks has a 29.5% usage rate. I'm at least going to go to 27. That takes Duren down to where he should be. That takes Beef Stew down to what I'm expecting him to be. Man, I did not expect that. All right, let's look at the rest of the rates. Alec Burks just gunning. I'm going to go down a hair more, 26.5. Killian Hayes with a pretty big assist rate with no Cade around. Jaden Ivey gets a little bit of a bump to the assist rate with no Cade around. Boyan's the same guy. Alec Burks, oddly enough, not as much the same guy. So a different role than he had when he was with the Knicks. Livers doesn't do anything. Bagley doesn't do anything. Bay doesn't really do anything. And then for a rebounding rate, Jalen Duren obviously doing big things. Beef Stew going to do big things. Boyan actually getting slightly more rebounds. That might be a Beef Stew thing, but that's fine. We'll bump him. Bagley is at 8 and change. Bring that down a bit. Sadiq Bey, 6 and a quarter. Okay, game 1 in the books. This is where we stand for Detroit. Not the best pricing in the world. Assuming everybody is in. I like $5,400 Sadiq Bey on... I can't even say that. I don't like anything for Detroit. Assuming everybody is in and that Sadiq Bey starts over Beef Stew, which I don't know if that's going to happen. That's what happened the final game before Beef Stew got hurt. I just don't see that happening. Let me make sure that I'm not talking out of my ass here. Yeah. All right. So it's only been one game that Sadiq Bey didn't start. I'm going to assume that he has gotten that spot back. I don't really see how you sift through Boyan, Ivy, Hayes, and Bey. I think all these guys look really similar. 7,600 on FanDuel for Killian Hayes is like a clear no-go. Alec Burks is way too expensive. Detroit just doesn't look good. Now, the Knicks should look good. Yeah, they do. Particularly on DraftKings. Okay. $4,600 Mitchell Robinson on DraftKings is a ridiculous price tag. Because even if you get him wrong, even at 24 minutes, his target score is 33 fantasy points. Like, even if you only get him in 20, that's 1.65. That's a normal high-end Mitchell Robinson game. If he plays 28 minutes, you almost have to have him. I like RJ Barrett on DraftKings for 6,600. Like, I still like Mitchell Robinson for 5,700 on FanDuel. Now, that target score is 38.5. Even if he plays 22 minutes, that's still 1.75. He blocks a couple shots, and you're just going to kind of be there quickly. Not Emmanuel quickly. I almost called him Isaiah quickly. I don't know who that would have been. Barrett, Brunson, Randall, Robinson are the guys you can key on. I don't love Jalen Brunson's $8,600 price tag on FanDuel. He's $900 cheaper on DraftKings. I think it's really difficult to get to Grimes and Quickly. You kind of want Quickly to be out just to open things up a little bit, but the Knicks definitely look better than the Pistons. Wow. That first game took us a full half hour, but I think it was warranted. And each individual guy means so much more on a 3-gamer that you kind of need to put in the work. So with the 114 people that are here, please hit that like button. That would help me out a ton. We're going to go to Golden State. The Warriors, everybody's available except for Iggy, who's just always out. So this one actually should take very little time because we pay attention to Golden State all the time. I got 35 minutes in here for Steph. I'm okay with that. We got 27 for Jordan Poole. Sure. I got 33 for Clay. Sure. So I think these guys are all going to play a little bit more in a competitive matchup against the Mavs. 33 for Wiggins. That works. 31 for Dre. Kind of want to make that 32, but 31 works. Anthony Lamb's minutes have been weird. DiVincenzo playing about 18 a game. That's one that I do want to bump up a bit. Get him to 18. I got Looney in for 23. I mean, there's just no telling with Looney. You kind of just want enough to know that you get him. Jermichael Green and Kuminga is an interesting relationship. Green has played less than Jonathan Kuminga in each of the past 4 games. That's about the best I can do here on Golden State. I'm like 99.9% sure that I don't have to change anything for Golden State's rates just because of how consistent they are. But I'm going to look at the rates quickly in games that Curry, Clay, Draymond, Wiggins, and Poole all play. That's a pretty big sample, or at least it should be. They've played, like a large chunk of their games have been played with their 5 best guys in the game. Steph is at a 30.5% usage rate. I'll go to 31. Clay is at 25.5. Jordan Poole is at 25. Wiggins at 21.2. Draymond's at 12, of course. Kevon Looney is at 10, of course. So those usage rates are all fine. Assist rates will be kind of interesting. Steph is definitely a little bit higher. We're going to bump him up a bit. Clay is not higher. Kevon Looney should just always be the same. Oh, Looney actually getting in on the assist game a little bit. We'll bump him up. Jordan Poole, bump him up as well. Draymond, 11. Spot on. Wiggins, he doesn't get assists. And then finally, rebound rate. We'll work our way from the bottom. Steph, much increased rebounding rate. We'll go a little bit more to Steph. Clay doesn't move. Kevon Looney's doesn't move. Jordan Poole gets less slightly. Draymond, actually significantly less. And then Wiggins, thought he was rebounding more. Apparently not. Golden State's pretty easy. That's not it. And Dallas should be, barring injuries, because they just don't have enough depth. I wonder if we get Kemba today. All right. So everybody that's normally available for Dallas is available. Is Kemba Walker available yet? Have they officially signed him? I guess no. Let me look at Spot Track to see if it's in yet. All right, Kemba Walker has not officially signed with Dallas yet. So if we see that later today, that's fine, but I'm not going to project him in. Let's go ahead and do the Dallas rotation. So we're going to go 32 to Dinwiddie. Sure. 36 to Luka. Man, he's been playing even more than that. I'm going to go 37 to Luka. I got to move 21 minutes there. That's 16. Okay. Take Josh Green. Let's take everybody out of there. Let's just make it easier. So that's Dinwiddie. That's Luka. Let's get the center minutes straightened out. Let's get Christian Wood in for his 27, 28. 2 out of the last 3 over 30. 3 of 6. I'm going to go 27 on Wood. Dwight Powell's minutes coming back down now. And he is likely to be in bad shape here against the Warriors. Think about just defensively. I mean, I know JaVale is going to get destroyed if he tries to play here. I'm going to go 12 minutes to Dwight Powell. We got Bertans for 17 on Sunday. I wonder if that's just a Reggie Bullock thing. We finally got Maxey back. Now, this is the type of game that you normally see Maxey Kleber play more. I'm going to give Maxey 26 minutes. I'm going to assume Reggie Bullock is just playing his standard 27. I'm going to assume that Dorian Finney-Smith is playing his standard 35. Tim Hardaway in for 22. I'm going to move all of these around in a second. Josh Green in for 20, and that's it. 2 spillover to Bertans. I think that's where we're going to be. I'll do that. So we're going 7 and 20. Perfect. I think that looks fine. I don't hate that Dallas rotation. I do hate this Dallas team, but I am going to grab all of their rates as well since we're here. So we're going to say, guy who played in the game. We're going to say it's Luka, obviously. Dinwiddie, obviously. I think Christian Wood and Tim Hardaway, just because of the way that usage works. We want all of those guys around because they are the 4 highest usage guys on the team. Hardaway, Dinwiddie, Doncic, and Wood. And they've played enough there. All 4 of those guys have been available. That's a big chunk of minutes. So we'll start with Luka, 37.3% usage rate. Dorian Finney-Smith gets 13, so he just gets whatever's left. Dinwiddie's at 21.5. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s at 22. Axie's is at 9. Holy hell. All right, so who's getting usage that I wouldn't expect? JaVale was. Nobody else is. Holy hell. It's not Bertans. Dorian Finney-Smith's at 13. I can't change that one. Oh, I didn't add Christian Wood. What am I doing? Christian Wood is at 27.5. So 20. Ooh, if he's playing, every minute that he plays alongside Luka is just going to bring that number down. I'm going to go 26.5 on Christian Wood, and that should put everybody else into place. Hit that like button, folks. 124 people in here. We've been going for 40 minutes. Let's get, all right, Luka's assist rate is fine. Spencer Dinwiddie's is slightly too high. We'll knock that down a bit. Nobody else is going to have an assist rate because nobody else is going to have the ball. Rebounding's important. Luka, not the same rebounder he used to be, so we'll bring that down. Dorian Finney-Smith, also not the same rebounder he used to be. Christian Wood, better than he used to be. That's exciting. Reggie Bullock doesn't do shit. No surprise. Tim Hardaway does less than you would expect. Axie do anything? Less than you would expect. All right. Game 2 in the books. And this is going to be tricky because Luka's expensive. He's 12.6 on DK. He's 12K on FanDuel. But I think he projects really well today. You know, it's a pace-up spot against Golden State. I got him at 1.66 FanDuel points per minute in this game. I just don't know how simple it's going to be to roster him. I think Dinwiddie and Christian Wood both look pretty good on DraftKings. Sucks that Wood is only center eligible. He's $500 more expensive on FanDuel, but he gets the power forward eligibility. I'd say there aren't any real priorities on FanDuel other than Luka, but on DraftKings, I think Dorian Finney-Smith, Dinwiddie, and Wood all look pretty good. And then you can definitely take shots at Maxi Kleber just because this matchup against Golden State is tailor-made for him. Man, my coffee's hitting the spot today, too. Okay, on the opposite side of Dallas, we have Golden State. Ooh, Clay and nobody else. I like Luka a lot more than I like Steph. Yeah, I like Luka more than I like Steph. I don't really like anything from Golden State. I mean, 8K Andrew Wiggins on FanDuel is like actively bad. That's like Killian Hayes bad. And it's not like I have these guys projected all that crazy. Like, I don't think Steph is a long-term 1.5 guy. I got him at 1.37. Wiggins is a 1 guy. That's exactly where I have him. Clay is at 0.95. That's exactly where I have him. Oops, didn't want to zoom in that far. I guess that works, though. You know, Draymond right around that 0.95 mark. Poole right around that 0.95 mark. Looney right around that 0.95 mark. DiVincenzo at 0.8. Like, I don't think that anything's projected all that crazy here. These guys just don't look very good. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be very curious to see where these guys show up when we run a crunch. Close it out. Close it out. Clippers and Portland, the Trailblazers. Clippers are 3.5-point dogs in Portland. Oh, yeah, there's no Paul George. There's no Kawhi. I was like, how the hell is that the case with no Dame? But I forgot that the Clippers don't have all their bodies. Yeah, no Paul George, no Kawhi. No John Wall, no Luke Kennard. So we're just going to start this rotation from scratch, obviously. We'll go to the first guy up on the list will be the hero from Sunday, Ivica Zubac. We're going to go 31 minutes to Zubac. Yeah, that's fine. 31 for Zubac. They did play Moses Brown for the third straight game. So I'm going to give him 10 minutes at center. And then we'll give Marcus Morris the final 7. He's going to be in for 29. Reggie Jackson's going in. Man, no John Wall. I don't know how much that's going to matter for Reggie Jackson, but I'm going to give Reggie Jackson 28 minutes. And then we're going to give Terrence Mann 30. We're going to get Batum in for 22. And they axed Covington again. Jesus. I wonder if somebody's going to step into the rotation for Wall, because they had been running a 5, 6, 7, 8. So they went 9-man rotation on Sunday, 10 on Wednesday, 10 on Friday. Full on same team, but now we don't have Wall. But they don't really have a 10th guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they only have 9 guys. Unless they get Brandon Boston or Jason Preston up from the G League, they only have 9 active bodies that I can tell. So let's get these guys projected out and see where we end up. I think we got to go to like 28 for Norm Powell. And then I think we need to go. I mean, Covington's playing today. That's just happened. He doesn't have a choice. I think we're getting 20 minutes out of Covington. I'm going to put 28 for Amir Coffey too. Okay, so that's the 9 guys. This is where we get to an interesting discussion. The 9 guys that are available, I have just projected for largely starter minutes. Like, we don't normally see Nick Batum play big minutes. The most that he generally plays is like 25, 26. I gave Moses Brown 10. He doesn't do anything crazy. Robert Covington doesn't really do anything crazy. So what we're really trying to project is who will be the guys. Did they? No, not every day. We really need to figure out who are the guys that are going to play 30 minutes for the Clippers. They have to actually have a couple guys do. Well, they don't have to, but it would require Robert Covington or Moses Brown or Nick Batum to play a lot more than you would expect. I'm going to go to 32 on Terrence Mann. I'm going to go to 30 on Reggie Jackson. That still leaves me 10 more for these guys. This is really hard. It feels like Amir Coffey would be the next guy to get to 30. I don't think it would be Norm Powell. Norm Powell's only played 30 minutes once in the past 3 weeks. Marcus Morris feels like the guy that should play 30, so I'm going to take him up to 30. I'm also going to take Batum to 23. But I'm still 6 minutes short. Assuming the starting lineup is Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, Coffey, Morris, Zubac. I might have to go to another minute here for Marcus Morris, but I just don't know if they're trying to break him down like that. I think it's more likely that we just see Terrence Mann play a staggering amount of minutes. And potentially Amir Coffey I'm gonna go 32 to all the starters except for Reggie Jackson. We'll go 31 to Morris, 31 to Coffee. I've already got 32 for Terrence Mann. I don't want to go any higher than that. I also want to try to avoid someone here. So I'm going to throw those final 4 minutes onto Moses Brown. I don't even know if I can pull rates for these idiots. This is a complicated 3-gamer, actually. All right, so we're going to say Kawhi off, Wall off, George off. I'm not going to take Luke Kennard off. That just seems aggressive. So usage rates when there's no Wall, no George, no Kawhi. This is not a big sample. Norm Powell's at 29% usage. Marcus Morris gets up into the 20s, like higher 20s. I'll go to 23 there on Morris. Nobody else really does. That's where it gets a little complicated. Terrence Mann gets up to 18, so at least we want to give him that bump. Amir Coffey just doesn't do anything with the ball. You would think it's Reggie Jackson, but somehow it's not. Zubats doesn't do it. The people that are taking these shots are like Brandon Boston and Moses Brown. None of that shit makes sense. I just got to leave this the way that it looks. All right, from an assist rate, I mean, Reggie Jackson's just, he's really, really just dominating the ball and trying to distribute. That makes sense. He's just getting everybody else involved. As is Terrence Mann. As is Amir Coffey, I guess. I feel like Zubats just dominates the glass then. Yeah, sure does. Sure does. Does anybody else get any boards? Apparently Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann doing a little bit of everything. Why doesn't he play more? I don't know. Our pal Batum gets rebounds? That's a thing? Yeah. Robert Covington with a pretty sizable rebounding bump. All right, I'm going to assume that's the Clippers rotation. Don't exactly feel great about the final minutes there, but let's close it out with Portland. Again, guys, thank you for being here. If you're here, hit that thumbs up. I haven't looked at the likes yet, but I know we're probably a little low. But I know that the people that are here have hit that like button. You guys are a good crop. All right, for Portland. No Dame, no Gary Payton, no Keon Johnson. So this is just everything that we've had for Portland for at least the last 4 games. So first, we're going to delete the rotation. Then we're going to pull the Portland rotation in games that Dame did not play. That's a decent chunk of time now, right? You missed a couple earlier. Yeah, they played 9 games without Dame. Now, we're going to get Simons, Hart, Winslow, Grant, Nurkic. We know that starting lineup. That piece is easy. So straight away, we're going to get Anthony Simons in for 37 minutes. I'm going to put Jeremy Grant in for 37 minutes. There's a very realistic scenario where both of those guys should be at 38. Should it be 38? Should I go 38? 3.5 point line. They're at home. We're going 38 on both. I don't want to be dumb here. There's no joking around. These guys are playing massive minutes with no Dame. Nurk has played huge minutes over the past 2 games. I'm going to 31 on Nurk, and I should probably go 32. Yeah, I'm going 32 to Nurk. And I got to do Hart and Winslow. So we'll go Josh Hart, 36. Justice Winslow, 33. I can't go too high on Winslow because he's just made out of paper mache or glass or whatever you want to say that breaks easily. So the rest of this should be pretty easy. Drew Eubanks just gets the straight backup run. I mean, they're only playing 4 other dudes. So I got to split Shaden Sharp, Nas Little, and Trendon Watford. Just get whatever's left. So Shaden Sharp's going to get those 10 plus another 6, I guess. Nas Little gets, all right, I have 31 for 2 guys. So that's going to be a 16 and a 15. I'm going to go 16 to Watford. 15 to Nas Little. Now let's update rates, and then we can start running some crunches. I'm fascinated to see the crunches here. Jackie, you're killing me. How you going to come to my show and put Laffy ahead of me? How are you going to do that? The utter disrespect. At least lie today. Just lie. It's not me. It's well played, Jackie. Well played. All righty. Let's get these rates in. We'll start with Anthony Simons. In the 9 games that Damian Lillard has not played, Anthony Simons has played 276 minutes. He's got a 27.5% usage rate. Jeremy Grant, in the 332 minutes in that case, 27% usage rate. Josh Hart's at 12.5. That dude just gets what everybody gives him. Justice Winslow's at 17. I want to lock that in. Yusuf Nurkic is at 25. I'm going to pop that bad boy in. Everything else just falls into place. From an assist perspective, Simons gets a pretty sizable bump in assist rate. Jeremy Grant also gets a little bit of a bump in assist rate. Justice Winslow surely does. He becomes the point guard of this team. Nurk, same guy as usual. Josh Hart, slight bump in assist rate. Nobody else does anything of value. The worst part today is going to be when, like, Trendon Watford ends up in the optimal lineup tonight. Rebounds. Nurk gets to 11. So Nurk rebounding a little bit less than he normally does. Taking on a bigger offensive load. That makes sense. Plus, this is a bigger lineup. You know, Winslow gets some boards. Josh Hart, obviously a great rebounder for his position. Jeremy Grant has the ability to not get rebounds. Anthony Simons, I can't imagine is getting a rebound ever. All right, final game in the books. Let's check it out. Yeah, let's check it out. So, okay. Late Night Hammer is a late night hammer. On DraftKings, Jeremy Grant, 7,300 looks great. Justice Winslow, 4,700 looks great. Yusuf Nurkic looks really good on both sites. Justice Winslow looks really good on both sites. Simons and Grant are a little pricey on FanDuel. Josh Hart's definitely the guy that I like the least of the starters. Don't know how you go to the bench. For the Clippers, I don't even know what this is going to look like. Okay, that's not as crazy as I was expecting. $3,600 Amir Coffey on DraftKings is the best Clipper. He has not been good this year. 0.6 fantasy points per minute. He's normally a 0.75 guy. Reggie Jackson is... Terrence Mann, Amir Coffey, Reggie Jackson are the 3 best plays here. Yeah, S&P, I'm with you there. It's just, I don't know where the minutes come from. Like, something has to happen to the Blazers. Otherwise, their rotate. If it's not a blowout or an injury, I don't think that any Blazers bench guy can do it. I just don't think it's going to be possible. What you're really going to need to get Blazers bench guys are outlier games from Curry and Luka. Let's just run some crunches. It's not even going to get me anywhere to like hypothesize the Clippers anymore. So hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Let's run some crunches. Before we run those crunches, though, let's talk quickly. Bang. Bang. We're going big. BetMGM, sponsor of the video. There's a link in the description. If you're in a legal betting state and you haven't signed up yet, you should do it. Click the link, head on over. All you got to do is put down $10 on any one of the World Cup games. My recommendation today, if you're an American, just put it on the United States. It doesn't matter if your bet wins or loses. Obviously, you want your bet to win, but we're talking about like a 50-50 proposition. USA is close to even money to win the game. Put down $10 on the United States or anybody, but just make it easy. Put it on the United States. As long as there's a goal scored somewhere, anywhere, doesn't matter who does it, where it happened, it doesn't matter. You're going to get $200 in free bets. If you're looking to start off a sports betting bankroll, this is the way to do it. Very simple. Sweat some World Cup. Banners at the top of the screen. Turn 10 into $200 in free bets as long as any team scores a goal. Bang. Done. Now let's run some crunches. FanDuel crunch first. Man, the things that get said that are so wildly incorrect are... Whew. It's incredible the lore of some of these guys, because that is wildly untrue. All right, let's get FanDuel in now. I have Luka. Here's where it's going to get complicated. I'll show it on the Fantasy Cruncher screen. It'll be easier to see. I don't know how I'm going to get to Steph today unless he's unowned, and he won't be unowned because he's only ever unowned to me. I have Luka Doncic 13 raw points ahead of Steph, but there's only $800 separating them. It's nearly impossible for me to want to get to Steph Curry today. Optimal lineups. 309-36. This is the optimal lineup on the dot by 1 full point. Luka, Reggie Jackson, RJ Barrett, Terrence Mann, Justice Winslow, Amir Coffey, Julius Randle, Bojan, and Nurkic. So no part of that lineup looks weird to me. Like, nobody snuck in. The fact that you can get to Luka is interesting. Amir Coffey is going to be the linchpin for that, at least as of right now. Let's look at power rankings, because this can flatten out in a way that I would not expect. There's just, I don't know where Luka ends up. He's either the clear top guy or there's trouble yeah, he's the clear top guy. That makes sense to me. I think you really only need Luka to hit his median, and he's going to have to be used. If Luka scores 60 today, I think he's just going to have to be in the optimal lineup. Holy shit, the Mavs have lost 4 straight. I love Luka today. So Luka is number 1 with a million bullets, 50% at the top. It drops down to 35% for Amir Coffey. That is not a coincidence. Julius Randle, Justice Winslow, Reggie Jackson round out the bottom of the top 5, or the top of the top 5. Bojan, Marcus Morris, Anthony Simons, Nurk, and RJ Barrett. But this is super flat. Like, there's not a lot of separation here. Does get to Curry at 23%. How frequently did we create Luka Curry lineups? Can't be a lot. Yeah. Okay, so 21 of the 500 have Luka and Curry. What do those ugly things look like? Good God. You can bet $12K for Luka, $11,200 for Curry. Next most expensive guy is Zubats at $6,900. You're getting a lot. You're getting Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith. Blech. That is gross. That is really gross. All right, that's FanDuel. Let's look at DraftKings now, which also is probably like a random number generator. Let's grab the DK projections. Again, Luka, 15 points ahead of Curry and 25 points ahead of the third guy. I think those raw points are just too many to overcome. All right, so optimal lineup on DraftKings. 279.25. This is the optimal by 0.31. Luka, Amir Coffey, Dorian Finney-Smith, Winslow, Mitchell Robinson, Reggie Jackson, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic. Again, nothing crazy there to me. A little surprised that we don't get Terrence Mann over Reggie Jackson, but I guess there's just not enough to find it. Because Mitchell Robinson is complicating matters at center. Because he's going to rank so highly. All right. Power rankings on DK before we get out of here. Full hour show on this one, but I don't really think we had much of a choice. Looking like Justice Winslow is going to be the top guy. Oh, Jeremy Grant's running him down. It's probably going to be Justice Winslow at the top. Yeah. We're getting Justice Winslow, #1 contender on DraftKings. Jeremy Grant, 2. Luka, 3. Simons, 4. Mitchell Robinson, 5. And then we round it out with Barrett, Coffey, Nurkic, Dinwiddie, Mann. I like this slate. It's hard. I think it's really hard. Folks, I'm done. I don't have anything else to add at this point. This show is over. We are 3 games up, 3 games down. We're in for an hour. Tomorrow we have a monster. But it's weird. It won't take that much longer because we don't have to care who's getting 16 minutes. It doesn't make a difference who we project. If you're not a starter or a high fantasy point per minute guy playing 20 minutes or more tomorrow, you're irrelevant on a 13-game slate. So we can kind of zip through this a little bit easier than you would think. Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you for being here. It was another nice morning. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Keep your eye out for contenders. I'll be on the strategy show with Adam at 10. I'll be on the deeper dive with Adam at 5. It's going to be a fun one, guys. So thank you for being here. This was The Process.